Hey everyone, welcome back. I do hope everybody's doing good. This video is going to be a little different. This is where I stayed in Summerville, South Carolina, and there will be a separate video on that. When we got there, or I should say when we planned this trip, Helene was not even thought about. My sister and I went to Summerville, South Carolina, where we are headed out now to get a few supplies to make sure that we're completely covered, obviously not being home and understanding what we're about to be in for. Little did we know what we were in for. I will say compared to some, we're doing great. It does not take away from the night my sister and I had. And I will say, though I thought I understood when people said, I never want to go through that again, the sounds and everything that we went through, I don't ever want to do again. Coming up here, you will hear some of the sounds in this beautiful little cabin, and I promise you what you hear does not do it justice. Tracy. As the camera shut off there, we headed back to the closet because we heard whistling yet again, and sure enough, another tornado warning. It was definitely a very sleepless night. I have never been so glad for the sun to come up. The sound of the rooster, the birds chirping, the frogs, even though the wind was still kicking and it was still raining, it was nothing compared to what we had just went through. And of course, seeing, even if it's something you don't want to see, is better than complete darkness with all those sounds around you. This was still early in the morning, where the wind would spontaneously just kind of kick up, so we waited a good while before we decided to head out. We waited till we felt it would be safe enough to head out. We actually were heading to Charleston, South Carolina. We knew that it had flooded some overnight. We knew that there might be a few issues. We looked to do our best to get there safely, and we only ran into a few issues, which you'll see coming up. But this is our drive. both so jumpy at this point after hearing those, and the house has these like hurricane shutters, but they're wooden, like old-timey shutters that have these hooks. We did run into some residual water from the flooding. This is what it looked like that morning. It was still very rough. So the flooding we ran into was kind of expected, but we were watching the news to just kind of make sure that everything was okay. And they were there when we got there, cleaning up. And they were wasting no time. All of the debris that you saw washing on the walkway there, all the way to the right is where the boats were. As you can see, it was still very windy. We did what we could. We appreciated the day for what it was. We were just thankful to be outside and be able to be outside considering what we just went through. For the rest of the time, we just enjoyed this beautiful cabin on this property, on this farm. The hosts were amazing. I will do a video on that for you guys so that you can see should you be in the area. I would definitely consider it a place to stay. We were thankful that we had a place that we could relax, enjoy nature, and be thankful for everything we have. South Carolina flag, Tracy, and the American flag. To have seen these flags when we came in, and then to see them in this condition, was a little heartbreaking. But they're still standing. This is us coming in to South Carolina. It's hard to see the flags because they were wet, but they were in fine condition. No torn, no tattered. We continued on our way home, passing many signs. They were twisted and mangled, down trees that you can see that they have cleared from the roadway. The traffic was pretty awful, but we were just so glad to be home. Stay tuned on Tuesday for the next video, and we will be going around Charleston and Summerville and some of the other places there in South Carolina. Till the next adventure, everyone.